Hey everybody, this is Wayne, founder of Ugly Mug Marketing and author of So You Have a Website Now What? And today I want to quickly show you something that we call the natural progression. And once you understand this concept, it will really help you in implementing what we call the business freedom formula. This is one of the 5 core components in that formula, and it's really important that you understand this part of it. When you see this formula, you'll discover that most business owners do not follow this. They completely ignore this simple formula, which is why they end up wasting a lot of time, energy, and effort marketing and trying to target the wrong people. So let's go ahead and dive right in and take a look. The first step in this formula is understanding that there are strangers out there. And this is where most businesses try to reach. They try to let people know about their product or service who currently don't know anything about it. The next step are the friends. And so once you educate somebody about your product or service, they begin to like and trust you. We call those people friends. So they're a little bit comfortable with you, your product or service. After they're friends, hopefully they become clients or customers. And once they're down here, at this point is where the transaction takes place. So they actually give you money and become a client or a customer of yours. And the fourth component is something that we call evangelist. And most businesses never ever get their clients or customers up into this point. So let me show you what this actually looks like in terms of your business, or should look like. So we start up here with the stranger. We then convince them to become a friend. From there, we hopefully get them to become a client or a customer. And then if we do things correctly, we can convince them to become evangelists for us. And if we're able to do that, what happens is they go out and tell their friends about us, and their friends skip this whole stage right here. And this is critically important for you as a business owner, because this area is where so many business owners spend most of their money, marketing, advertising, etc., trying to convince people just to like and trust them. Now you can see if you were to focus your money instead over here on creating evangelist, you automatically skip this whole part of the process. And not only do you skip this part of the process, but you end up with people who really love what you do, who you are, and the products and services that you sell. And so if we take this and we put it on a different kind of diagram here, this would be money, and this line is going to represent time. Down here on the very bottom, we would have the strangers. Up here, we'd have friends. Up here, we're going to have clients or customers up on the top right. And then very top, we would have the evangelists up here on top. So what happens is they start down here, they become friends. At this point is what we call the point of purchase. This is where money is finally exchanged. So they give you money in exchange for your product or service. At that point, they're a client, and then they move on up to evangelist. And what happens is, as I mentioned on the last chart, is that most businesses spend all their money right here, trying to get people to move from here to here. But you can see that's a long distance. It takes a lot of time to get there. Whereas if the money was spent here, convincing these people just to move up to here, it automatically drops people right back in this area. And so this, as you can see, it's contrary to what most businesses do. Most are stuck trying to convince strangers to become friends. And I would challenge you to really think about your customers, your clients. How can you convince them to become evangelists for you? What tools, resources, and what actions can you take that would encourage them to go out and tell their friends about you, your product, your service? And you can see how this fits in nicely with the business freedom formula. With this component in place, you're enabling and empowering your customers, your evangelists, to go out and do the work for you. Therefore, it's freeing you up from having to be out constantly promoting and branding and spending money on marketing and advertising. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I've got another video that I'm working on for you as well, and it's going to cover another core component of the business freedom formula. Thanks so much for watching.